Hey guys, I wanted to do something a little bit different. Not that I exactly have a norm set for the channel yet on today's video. Uh, and this was actually inspired by, I guess you could say, a friend of mine, who also did the video wasn't really like a reading video, but they did have reading in their video, and it was kind of on the almost the same topic that I will be doing for this video. And I hope you don't mind the campfire sounds in the background. I thought it would be really relaxing to just sit around a campfire and read Demonology. I have in front of me a physical transcription of the greater and lesser keys of Solomon the King. It was transcribed by Aleister Crowley and published by MacGregor Mathers. I think I'm pronouncing that right, hopefully. But nonetheless, I guess we can just jump right into it. So, trying to decide where I want to start to read. If I want to give you guys the boring pre-details, or if I should jump into the first official transcription. I think I can just jump right in. I hope I can read this without butchering any of the words. From Ad MSS 10.8.62, The Key of Solomon, translated into Latin from the Hebrew idiom. Treasure up, O my son Rehoboam, the wisdom of my words, seeing that I, Solomon, have received it from the Lord. Then answered Rehoboam and said, How have I deserved to follow the example of my father Solomon in such things, who hath been found worthy to receive the knowledge of all living things through the teaching of an angel of God? And Solomon said, Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and learn the wonders of God. For on a certain night, when I laid me down to sleep, I called upon that most holy name of God, Aya, and prayed for the ineffable wisdom. And when I was beginning to close mine eyes, the angel of the Lord, even Hamodiel, appeared unto me, spoke many things courteously unto me, and said, Listen, O Solomon, thy prayer before the Most High is not in vain. And since thou hast asked neither for long life, nor for much riches, nor for the souls of thine enemies, but hast asked for thyself wisdom to perform justice, thus saith the Lord, according to thy word have I given unto thee a wise and understanding heart, so that before thee was none like unto thee, nor ever shall arise. And when I comprehended the speech which was made unto me, I understood that in me was the knowledge of all creatures, both things which are in the heavens and things which are beneath the heavens. And I saw that all the writings and wisdom of this present age were vain and futile, and that no man was perfect. I composed a certain work wherein I rehearsed the secret of secrets, in which I have preserved them hidden, and I have also therein concealed all secrets whatsoever of magical arts of any masters, any secret or experiments, namely of these sciences which is in any way worth being accomplished. Also, I have written them in this key, so that like as a key openeth the treasure house, this key alone may open the knowledge and understanding of magical arts and sciences. Therefore, O my son, thou mayest see every experiment of mine or of others, and let everything be properly prepared for them, as thou shalt see properly set down by me, both day and hour, and all things necessary, for without this there will be but falsehood and vanity in this my work, wherein all hidden secrets and mysteries which can be performed, and that which is set down concerning a single divination or a single experiment, that same I think concerning all things which are in the universe, and which have been, and which shall be in future time. Therefore, O my son Rehoboam, I command thee by the blessing which thou expectest from thy father, that thou shalt make an ivory casket, and therein place, keep, and hide this, my key. And when I shall have passed away unto my fathers, I entreat thee to place the same in my sepulchre beside me, lest at another time it might fall into the hands of the wicked. And as Solomon commanded, so was it done. And when therefore men had waited for a long time, there came unto the sepulchre certain Babylonian philosophers, and when they had assembled, they at once took counsel together that a certain number of men should renew the sepulchre in his Solomon's honor. And when the sepulchre was dug out and repaired, the ivory casket was discovered, and therein was the key of secrets, which they took with joyful minds. And when they had opened it, none among them could understand it on account of the obscurity of the words and their occult arrangement, and the hidden character of the sense and knowledge, for they were not worthy to possess this treasure. Then therefore arose one among them more worthy than the others, both in the sight of the gods and by the reason of his age, who was called Eohe Gravis, and said unto the others, Unless we shall come and ask the interpretation from the Lord with tears and entreaties, we shall never arrive at the knowledge of it. I think this is correct, but the name is very indistinctly written in the MS, which is difficult to decipher. In another copy of the clavicle, it is written Gracious, but I think this is an error, said one of the people who was, writing this book. Therefore, when each of them had retired to his bed, Eohe, indeed falling upon his face on the earth, began to weep, and striking his breast, said, What have I deserved above others, seeing that so many men can neither understand nor interpret this knowledge, even though there were no secret thing in the universe, in nature, which the Lord hath hidden from me? Wherefore are these words so obscure? Wherefore am I so ignorant? And then on his bended knees, stretching his hands to the heaven, he said, O God, the Creator of all, thou who knowest all things, who gavest so great wisdom unto Solomon the son of David the king, grant unto me, I beseech thee, O holy omnipotent and insufferable Father, to receive the virtue of that wisdom, so that I may become worthy by thine aid to attain unto the understanding of this key of secrets. And immediately there appeared unto me the angel of the Lord, saying, Do thou remember if the secrets of Solomon appear hidden and obscure unto thee, that the Lord hath wished it, so that such wisdom may not fall into the hands of wicked men. Therefore do thou promise unto me that thou art not willing that so great wisdom should ever come to any living creature, and that which thou revealest unto any let them know that they must keep it unto themselves, otherwise the secrets are profaned and no effect can follow. And Eohe answered, I promise unto thee that to none will I reveal them, save to the honor of the Lord, and with much discipline unto penitent, secret, and faithful persons. Then answered the angel, Go and read the key, and its words, which were obscure throughout, shall be manifested unto thee. And after this the angel ascended into heaven in a flame of fire. Then Iohe was glad, and laboring with a clear mind, understood that which the angel of the Lord had said. And he saw that the key of Solomon was changed, so that it appeared quite clear unto him, plainly in all parts. And Iohe understood that this work might fall into the wrong hands of the ignorant. And he said, I conjure him into whose hands this secret may come, and by the power of the Creator and his wisdom, that in all things he may desire, intend, and perform, that this treasure may come unto no unworthy person, nor may he unmanifest it unto any who is unwise, nor unto one who feareth not God, because if he act otherwise, I pray God that he may never be worthy to attain unto the desired effect. And so he deposited the key, which Solomon preserved, in the ivory casket. But the words of the key are as follows, divided into 2 books, and shown in no order. That was the sort of prelude to the Greater and Lesser Keys of Solomon, which, if you don't know, are supposedly 2 series of grimoires that were written by either King Solomon or the scholars that he had basically hired to study sort of celestial secrets, if you can call it that. The next part is the introduction. And it starts off sort of the same as the last one, but a little bit different. And I apologize if it seems a little bit too biblical. I don't usually touch on biblical stuff, but considering who wrote these books, and considering its origin and, that demonology is sort of inherently tied in with certain bullet religions and beliefs, there's not much I can do about that. But anyway. The introduction from Lansdowne MSS 1203, the veritable Clavicles of Solomon, translated from the Hebrew into the Latin language by the Rabbi Abagnazar. O my son Rehoboam, seeing that all sciences there is none more than you. Seeing that of all sciences there is none more useful than the knowledge of celestial movements. I have thought it is my duty, being at the point of death, to leave thee an inheritance more precious than all the riches which I have enjoyed. And in order that thou mayest understand how I have arrived at this degree of wisdom, it is necessary to tell thee that one day, when I was meditating upon the power of the Supreme Being, the angel of the great God appeared before me as I was saying, Oh, how wonderful are the works of God! I suddenly beheld, at the end of a thickly shaded vista of trees, a light in the form of a blazing star, which said unto me with the voice of thunder, Solomon, Solomon, be not dismayed. The Lord is willing to satisfy thy desire, by giving thee knowledge of whatsoever thing is most pleasant unto thee. I order thee to ask of him whatsoever thou desirest. Whereupon, recovering from my purpose, I answered unto the angel, that according to the will of God, I only desired the gift of wisdom, and by the grace of God, I obtained in addition the enjoyment of all celestial treasures and the knowledge of all natural things. It is by this means, my son, that I possess all the virtues and riches of which thou may now seest me in the enjoyment, and in order that thou mayest be willing to be attentive to all which I am about to relate to thee, and that thou mayest retain with care all that I am about to tell thee. I assure thee that the graces of the great God will be familiar unto thee, and that the celestial and terrestrial creatures will be obedient unto thee, in a science which only works by the strength and power of natural things, and by the pure angels which govern them, of which latter I will give thee the names in order, their exercises, and particular employments to which they are destined, together that the days over which they particularly preside, in order that thou mayest arrive at the accomplishment of all, which thou wilt find this in my testament. In all which I promise thee success, provided that all thy works only tend unto the honor of God, who hath given me the power to rule, not only over terrestrial, but over celestial things, that is to say, over angels, of whom I am able to dispose according to my will, and to obtain from them very considerable services. Firstly, it is necessary for thee to understand that God, having made all things, in order that they may be submitted unto him, hath wished to bring his works to perfection, by making one which participates of the divine and of the terrestrial, that is to say, man, whose body is gross and terrestrial, while his soul is spiritual and celestial, unto whom he hath made subject the whole earth and its inhabitants, and hath given unto him means by which he may render the angels familiar, as I call those celestial creatures, who are destined, some to regulate the motion of the stars, others to inhabit the elements, others to aid and direct men, and others to sing continually the praises of the Lord. Thou mayest then, by the use of their seals and characters, render them familiar unto thee, provided that thou abusest not this privilege, by demanding from them things which are contrary to their nature. For accursed be he who will bring the name of God in vain, and who will employ for evil purposes the knowledge and good wherewith he hath enriched us. I command thee, my son, to carefully engrave in thy memory all that I say unto thee, in order that it may never leave thee. If thou dost not intend to use for a good purpose the secrets which I teach thee, I command thee rather to cast this testament into the fire, rather than to abuse its power thou wilt have of constraining the spirits. For I warn thee that the beneficent angels, wearied and fatigued by thine illicit demands, would to thy sorrow execute the commands of God, as well as to that of which all who, with evil intent, would abuse those secrets which he hath given and revealed unto me. Think not, however, O my son, that it would not be permitted thee to profit by the good fortune and happiness which the divine spirits can bring thee. On the contrary, it gives them great pleasure to render service to man, for whom many of these spirits have great liking and affinity, God having destined them for the preservation and guidance of those terrestrial things which are submitted to the power of man. There are different kinds of spirits, according to the things over which they preside. Some of them govern the empyrean heaven, others the primum mobile, others the first and second crystalline, others the starry heaven. There are also spirits of the heaven of Saturn, which I call Saturnites. There are jovial, marital, or martial, solar, Venerian, mercurial and lunar spirits. There are also spirits in the elements as well as in the heavens. There are some in fiery regions, others in air, others in water, and others upon the earth, which can all render service to that man who shall have the good fortune to understand their nature and to know how to attract them. Furthermore, I wish to make thee understand that God hath destined to each one of us a spirit which watches over us and takes care of our preservation. These are called genii, or genii, who are elementary like us, and who are more ready to render service to those whose temperament is conformed to the element which those genii inhabit. For example, shouldest thou be of fiery temperament, that is to say sanguine, thy genius would be fiery and submitted to the empire of Baal. Besides this, there are special times reserved for the invocation of these spirits, in the days and hours when they have the power and absolute empire. It is for this reason that thou wilt see in the following tables to what the planet and to what angel each day and hour is submitted, together with the colors that belong to them, the metals, herbs, plants, aquatic, aerial, and terrestrial animals, and incense, which are proper to each of them, as also in what quarter of the universe they ask to be invoked. Neither are omitted the conjurations, seals, characters, and divine letters which belong to them, by means of which we receive the power to sympathize with these spirits. The following is charts. This says the table of planetary hours, and it is a whole thing that appears to go by the days of the week. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And on each day is a list of different planets, it looks like, celestial bodies. And it tells you hours from sunset to sunset and hours from midnight to midnight. I'm assuming that it would be important for some of the rituals in here. And below that is corresponding divine characters. And then in the following, there's a note by the editor. These tables have been collated and compared with various examples of them, both MS and printed. They are to be used thus. Supposing the student wishes to discover the properties of the hour from 12 to 1 o'clock p.m. on a Tuesday, let him look in the table of the planetary hours, and having found the hour marked 1 in the column headed hours from midnight to midnight, he will see in the column headed from sunset to sunset, on the same line, the figure 8, showing it to be the 8th hour of the day, and in the column headed Tuesday, the name Mars, showing that it is under the dominion of the planet Mars. On the consulting the table of the magical names of the hours, etc., he will find the number 1, the name Baron, and in the column Tuesday, the name of the angel Zemael, over against it on the same line, showing that the ruler of the hour is the angel Zemael, and that its magical name is Baron. There's much more here in this book, but for the purposes of this video, I think I'm going to leave it here for now. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that the video was of quality. If you're not sleeping already, I hope you have a very good night. Good night. Good night. I hope you have a very good night. And a sweet splendiferous day ahead of you. Sleep well, my friend.